Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is James and this is Six Reacts, and we are going to try to finish off Dodging and Disbandment and Other Extreme Sports, a Dreamcatcher, a history of Dreamcatcher right now. Try to keep it to 2 parts. I'm going to try to keep my talking down, which is hard for me, but what we know so far is, their struggle as Minx, and then they came back as Dreamcatcher, and then it took 7 months for a comeback, and then after the comeback, now they're joining YG's survival show Mix 9, which is very interesting.
A survival show created and owned by YG Entertainment. The goal was to promote the group on widespread television, show off different sides of the group, and most importantly, give the public a taste of what Dreamcatcher members were like as individuals. Mix 9 was a sandbox for idols of various companies to show off not only their physical skills, visuals, and overall idol appeals, but also start promoting their own personalities. One of the key necessities to longevity in the industry is personal attachment. Much of the K-pop industry is designed to sell fans an idol, a person to get attached to. For a group like Dreamcatcher, advertising your own personalities is crucial to drawing in fans who might not know or otherwise care for your music. Fans are more likely to support a group they feel personally connected to and involved with, and this is extremely notable about girl groups in particular.
Yeah, that's why I like K-pop so much.
Machiavellian, but that's another can of worms. What it meant for Dreamcatcher was that the fans who enjoyed the group at large and the potential fans in the making could see the members' personalities and become more attached to them.
I might still have to watch this show.
It would give Dreamcatcher 7 more selling points. On top of that, a show like Mix 9 would, in theory, contribute to the message that Dreamcatcher were committed to impacting and succeeding in the market. By getting together idols from all over the industry to mingle with, compete against, and befriend each other, Mix 9 would, again, in theory, allow the members of Dreamcatcher to announce themselves as integrated players within the business, true competitors with skin in the game. Mix 9, like the produced series, was a unique space for seeing idols outside of their own groups and allowing fans to get to know Dreamcatcher through groups they already loved. It appealed to many fans to see their idols friends with other idols, and it was helpful for idols to hone their promotion skills with other professionals. The show began in late October, and 4 members of Dreamcatcher, Jiyoon, Shiyeon, Yuhyun, and Dami, were there to compete against 94 other female idols. Talent-wise, it actually went pretty well. The members were recognized for their skills and development, each member received a rating B or higher. Out of the 98 female participants, Yuhyun ranked in the top 9 during the showcase section, and Jiyoon ranked at number 4 in episode 4 and number 7 in episode 5.
No, okay, I'm trying to remember all this.
Starting to heat up. There were some great performances and some rather awesome moments from both the members of Dreamcatcher and the other idols they were working with.
I'm gonna have to watch this for sure.
Win or lose, joining Mix 9 would only serve to help Dreamcatcher, as long as everything went according to plan. Well, about that.
What?
About 3/4 of the way into the show, Dreamcatcher's activities in Mix 9 came to a sudden halt. Practically out of nowhere, Dreamcatcher packed up their stuff and never returned. Happy Face released a statement saying they were officially pulling Dreamcatcher from the show, and instead, the 4 girls would rejoin the other members and participate in a tour through Brazil. It was a mixed bag, to say the least. While a tour would certainly bring in more money, there was a goldmine of potential publicity to be found in Mix 9. The members had accumulated decent rankings, and presumably the other industry benefits of joining Mix 9 would have strengthened as the competition continued. With just 6 episodes left, the decision seemed dicey. Until, well, I don't even need to tell you, do I?
Yeah, you do. The debut of Mix 9's final group has been canceled. Oh, they must have knew something. Whoa. Okay, so it was good for the company to get him out of there.
Mix 9 flatlined and everything went kaput. Upon finishing its run in December and announcing the winning group for debut, YG Entertainment canceled the entire project. YG. Drain. Months of time spent was now wasted, and YG's stock completely crashed. The companies and idols involved were screwed to high hell. For all intents and purposes, Dreamcatcher had basically sailed off the island just before the volcano exploded.
Okay. They've done 2 good decisions now. There's the spoilers. It would have sucked if the members would have got taken away for that group anyway.
It's true, there's no way Happy Face could have foreseen this. In fact, the idol who ranked highest in the entire show was Woo Jin Young, And 3 guesses what company he came from. It can't be stated enough how damaging the failure of Mix 9 was to its participants. Happy Face themselves proceeded to file a lawsuit against YG Entertainment for 10 million won. Later, Happy Face started to reveal a fuck ton of the underhanded actions done by YG during the course of the show, including but not limited to YG unfairly extended contracts management period from 4 months to 3 years, which is extremely dangerous to smaller companies. They coerced Happy Face and their artists into agreeing to the new terms under the threat of cancellation, refused to fulfill their side of the agreements by covering fees such as transportation, training, clothes, and so on, and refused to pay any of the money that was owed to Happy Face for use of songs, trainees, and other material.
YG.
Happy Face described the entire process as the overuse of power by a large entertainment agency with strong influence. Happy Face said this of the lawsuit: "More than to be compensated for all the damages we have received, this is a symbolic amount filed in our hopes that Korean popular culture will progress healthily without the overuse of power by large companies." In early 2019, we would find out that Happy Face withdrew this lawsuit, and there is definitely some speculation about what went down behind closed doors. Regardless, it was a disaster. Now let's get back to
Hopefully
Dreamcatcher.
they at least made some money.
In all honesty, it seemed that Dreamcatcher had miraculously dodged a bullet and were promoting their music internationally with the Fly High World Tour. By the power of sheer dumb
Brazil,
luck,
huh?
Dreamcatcher were out promoting in the world, and by the end of the year, the world was starting to pay attention. Chase Me was included in Billboard's Best K-Pop Songs of 2017 at number 19, and the group was crowned number 3 for Billboard's Best New K-Pop Acts.
Nice.
Things were starting to look up, and with that, the year wrapped. Kicking off 2018, Dreamcatcher celebrated their first anniversary with a fan meet. All 400 tickets sold out within minutes. While Dreamcatcher may have not been the biggest group in the world, their work in the past year had started to bring in dedicated fans. The celebration included the release of revamped material, new photo shoots, and the release of their fan-dedicated single, Full Moon. There was also an announcement of a March comeback. Time passed,
I haven't even got through all their title tracks yet.
And March arrived. They released their official name for the fan base, but no comeback. The month went on, no comeback. March ended, April began, and still no comeback. Eventually, Happy Face announced that the album had been delayed, and fans were starting to get antsy. Dreamcatcher did not have a good history regarding album delays, and the last thing anyone wanted was a re-debut. April closed out with no sign of Dreamcatcher. Moving into May, Happy Face was utterly vacant. None of the members were making announcements, and the radio silence was starting to scare people. What the hell was going on? Finally, something gave way. An official announcement told the fans that Dreamcatcher were named ambassadors for Microsoft's blockchain security technology. And everyone said,
"Where's the album?"
Oh my god, this is hitting too close to home with me.
The album.
Hey, what? Come on, this isn't a comeback.
When was
the comeback?
this?
I thought we were getting it. You and I.
Another
and then
banger.
Dreamcatcher dropped You and I. On May 10th, Dreamcatcher released their second album,
May.
Escape the Era.
Okay,
6
it took till
songs,
May.
a budget update, and a hit on the charts. The comeback peaked at number 3 on the Gallon chart and debuted at number 7 on Billboard World Albums. The comeback centered
won
around
in
their
China.
iconic sound while also playing well to industry interests. The styling, choreography, and album maintained their unique traits while also imbuing them with elements of girl crush and EDM, 2 of the hottest dishes on the table at the moment. The comeback sparked heat in the industry, and the fanbase expanded into the mainstream. This was a good sign, because despite the touring projects Dreamcatcher had done the past year, they had yet to solidify a foothold across the ocean. You and I didn't draw blood in just the Korean market. Suddenly, the international fanbase was stoked from
I
the
wonder how
embers.
frustrating it's got to be for the girls, you know, to have to wait. I mean, we're frustrated as fans, but for the girls. And then also, you know, they're more afraid than we are of having to disband our, when they come back, not even, you know, not being successful when they come back. So it's got to be tough on the girls.
And Dreamcatcher rose from the ranks of cult favorite to commercial success. It was looking more and more like You and I was going to be the song that solidified Dreamcatcher for good. They had a really good week. And when I say a week, I do mean a week. For a full 7 days, it was Dreamcatcher's world. They received their first ever nomination for a win with You and I, and then...
Ah! Sounds like Boca. A week.
To be fair, it didn't matter who you were shunted out the door when Love Yourself Tear dropped. Popularity disparity. Now we're gonna hit some confusion in the storyline. Sensing the growth of their popularity, the group went into something of a frenzy. Riding the high of You and I, they released a third mini-album in September as part of their What comeback.
This might be where I'm at, no? I don't think I've heard this one.
And officially broke the 30,000 sales mark for a mini-album. The album charted at number 2, which remains their highest position of all time as of the making of this video. They had a Japanese debut, and while they were met with some initial success, the activities in Japan remained largely unrealized. 2019. Regardless, they had another comeback on February 13th of 2019 with The End of Nightmare, and its single, Piri.
This is the first song that I heard from them, guys. When I first started getting into K-pop was, I want to say the end of 2018? No. Shit. No, May, I think, of 2019 might have been the first time that I know I missed Blackpink in Coachella, but I would just listen to a playlist on Apple Music of K-pop to, hear some different things, and if it caught my ear, I would add it to my playlist. This song got added to my playlist right away. It's not even my favorite song by them. I'm definitely thinking Boca's my favorite song.
I believe this is when Happy Face rebranded as Dreamcatcher Company, but some sources also say
oh my god. Her visuals in this video with the blonde hair and all white with the contacts. Oh my god.
Dreamcatcher Company, bless their hearts, I have no idea what they put in the water at Happy Face.
Killer.
And then off they went on yet another tour. Here's where things start to get Shakespearean, and I mean that in the bucket loads of pathetic fallacy way. And no, pathetic fallacy has nothing to do with the word pathetic meaning desperate or depressing. Rather, everywhere Dreamcatcher went, things started to go wrong. Their concert in Jakarta was completely shut down for reasons that were never explained. There were scheduling conflicts and issues with tickets, and one of the theaters caught fire and burned down. Everything was going pear-shaped.
Oh, that's not the footage. What the hell?
Promotions were released.
I thought that was the footage.
And issues with tickets, and one of the theaters caught fire and burned down. Everything was going pear-shaped. After the tour, more Japanese promotions were released, but they went nowhere. In hopes of reigniting fan morale, the group opened applications for their official fan club that summer, but even then, little news came out of it and the whole affair slipped under the waves. While Dreamcatcher seemed to be anywhere and everywhere and their comebacks were reaching decent upfront numbers, there was something off about their success. No matter how frequent the comebacks or how long the tours, Dreamcatcher couldn't seem to create a sense of longevity. The spaghetti wasn't sticking to the wall, and after a few weeks of initial success, Dreamcatcher's prominence would fade and take a backseat to everyone else in the industry. They seemed to be relying almost entirely on reappearance power, but in the grand scheme of things, it seemed that not many people outside the immediate fandom would notice that they went silent. Dreamcatcher's streak of good luck had short-circuited, and the members were rightfully exhausted. It was time to take a break, get some air, and come back when everyone was good and ready. In the meantime, Happy Face did what they do best, something unconventional.
So this is the hard part about, I want to say K-pop industry, but the entertainment industry. They're so talented. We can see that, right? Being their fandom too, we back them 100%. But why have they not been getting enough credit? They are one of the most underrated groups, and this is just from the little bit that I have done my research on them and dove into them. They've been around for this long. They've dealt with so much already, and we still got 9 minutes left in the video, and still no really. Well, we're gonna get into the win thing, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like they deserve more for sure.
Happy Face started having board meetings with Vespa, an indie game developing company based in South Korea.
Hello. Yes, handshake. A handshake for you.
I like your tie.
I'm not wearing a tie. Have a handshake.
I heard the food would be provided.
I lied. Hello.
Your hands are very warm.
What if we kill one of the members and have her come back from the dead?
So here's my idea. Give Chi-Yu a big fucking sword.
Yes, exactly.
Brilliant.
I was thinking the same thing.
Fantastic.
That's all I've ever wanted.
Match made in heaven. On September 18th, we finally saw what all those board meetings have been about.
Deja Vu is what do they call those? OST, OTS, OST, whatever? No way. This is one of my favorite songs by them.
Deja Vu was unlike anything Dreamcatcher had done before. The comeback was a collaboration with Vespa's mobile game King's Raid, which contributed to the expensive and dramatic visuals in the music video. That usual Dreamcatcher core was now combined with an emotional ballad, and it gave them their first charting song in the K-pop Hot 100. The album, Raid of Dream, hit number 3 and became their highest-selling album of all time. There was still one milestone that Dreamcatcher and their fandom had yet to crack, a first win on a music show. They'd come close in the past year, but hadn't quite managed to snag one. With the emerging success of Deja Vu, they might have their shot. Deja Vu was nominated for a win by SBS's music show, The Show, and many fans crossed their fingers in hopes that Dreamcatcher would take home their first win. That night,
먼저 사전에 집계된 음원 점수입니다.
동영상과 전문가 팬 사전 투표 점수입니다.
여기에 생방송 중 집계된 실시간 앱 투표 점수를 합친 결과
네, 1, 2 out of 3.
에버글로우 축하합니다.
the winner of the night
I'm
was
an
Everglow,
Everglow's fan
taking
too.
home their first ever win. I'm gonna label this entire section alleged.
And see, yeah, so now, I was talking over it, but this is their first win, which I'm happy for them, but I'm actually disappointed for both girls, both groups, because of controversy, right? So now, Everglow wasn't supposed to win, right? And Dreamcatcher was supposed to win. So it sucks for both groups.
The winner of the night was Everglow, taking home their first ever win. I'm going to label this entire section alleged. There are details that can't be confirmed about certain parts of this issue, and there are so many different parts to what happened.
Maybe
and
my statement was wrong
translated
too.
From Korean into English. I encourage you to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Anyway, on to what happened as best as I could research. Just a little while after the show announced its winner, fans and non-fans of Dreamcatcher began speaking out against the final scores, claiming miscalculation and even fraudulent behavior.
I really hope that Everglow's fandom and Dreamcatcher's fandom don't hate each other.
Here. After the controversy gained some traction, a few fans started to claim that these numbers were already confirmed accurate and that the controversy was based on lies. As of now, there is absolutely no confirmation on any website in any language from any source that these numbers are accurate. Yes, if you add these numbers straight down, you do get 7,861 and 7,850. However, the addition of these numbers isn't what the outrage was about. It's that these numbers allegedly should have never existed like this to begin with, and that the calculation that was done to create them was fudged. So what went wrong? I'm basically going to be summarizing several articles that broke down the calculation process, the faulty results, and why people were saying it could have been intentional skewing.
We're going to get this in 9
All
minutes?
of this information is readily accessible. I encourage you to look at them. One of the primary articles I'm looking at is this one by XDoubleStar, who, while not a website I'm deeply familiar with, provided a decent amount of verifiable information.
Why would somebody do
I'm going
this?
to be paraphrasing a lot from them. Credit to the breakdown goes to XDoubleStar. Basically, Row 2 is where fans claim things went wrong. According to XDoubleStar, we can establish beyond reasonable doubt that wrongdoing took place. Basically, 3 major things happened here. The first is that several points were shaved off of Dreamcatcher's YouTube score. Here is the viewer board of The Show. Based on the show's own data, the score Dreamcatcher should have received was 1,472 points, higher than what they were actually given, which means the show had data that gave one result, and yet somehow another number showed up. But the second thing happened in the category Expert Preferences. What is Expert Preferences? It's basically a category where the broadcast can award points to groups based on what they claim are preferences of experts. But this category has long been disputed by practically every fandom in the industry.
All this is over my head, but
and is largely
trying to
considered
follow.
a place where shows just skew points to favor certain groups. In this episode of the show, CLC and Everglow both received full scores of 1,500 points for expert preference, and Dreamcatcher received a 0, which came as a shock to some people. But even with a 0, Dreamcatcher still would have won. In order for Dreamcatcher to receive the lower final score that they did, the experts had to have given them less than the minimum amount of 0 and then masked it by announcing 0. Here's how that works, and again, these are all just claims as far as I know. Let's say that all the other data the show published in this section except
Why do
for
they
expert
hate Dreamcatcher
preferences
so much? Why?
was
That's the only reason
completely
they do
accurate.
this.
Now, let's remember that the minimum score for expert preference is apparently 0. When you calculate the full score giving Dreamcatcher an absolute 0 in expert preferences, their final score for this section is 1,972 points. But the final score that the show released for Dreamcatcher was 1,850, 122 points below the possible minimum score. How did the show give them a score over 100 points below the minimum? Fans are saying that they gave Dreamcatcher negative points in this category. Allegedly, Dreamcatcher was given negative points in a category where you can't get negative points, which would mean that their score was deliberately subtracted. Dreamcatcher would have been given a false score on behalf of the show, and if these weren't simple computer errors, this would be cheating. Several fans and non-fans alike recalculated the scores using the minimum possible of 1,472 points, and based on the results, even if Dreamcatcher had scored an actual 0 in expert preference, which again is absurd to begin with, they still would have beaten Everglow for first place. This led many fans to conclude that the show fudged Dreamcatcher's score and even subtracted points from it so that they could edge them in just under Everglow. If this is what happened, subtracting points from a group's score is
If this is what
tampering
happened,
the ability to win.
I would never watch the
the
show.
group's success in the industry.
I never support them if I'm on a career.
Surprised that some fans were disappointed and untrustworthy after the strange results were posted. Now, it's time to remember that this is not, under any circumstances, Everglow's fault.
No, it's not.
Everglow as a group had absolutely nothing to do with the way the show's scores were calculated.
It's so terrible
and
for
no one
both
can deny
groups.
that they are a monster rookie group with tons of support. In the end, this is just as much a blow to Everglow as it is to Dreamcatcher. Everglow worked extremely hard to get where they are, and the last thing they'd want is a fraudulent first win, especially regarding all the heated tensions around rigging right now. And of course, this is not the first time a music show has given a win to the wrong group. In May of 2016, KBS's Music
why did they
Bank
do
gave
this
first
stuff?
place to AOA for Good Luck, when the actual win belonged twice for Cheer Up. In May of 2019, Mnet's and Countdown gave first place to New East for Bet Bet, when the win really belonged to Oh My Girl for the 5th season. Something about the month of May apparently throws everyone's math skills out the window. The difference, of course, is that these shows both made official and public announcements about the mistakes and corrected the math as well as the true holder of the win. As of the making of this video, SBS and the show have made no such announcement. In fact, the only acknowledgement the show gave to the controversy were public tweets that seemed to passive-aggressively mock the group and the fans for the loss of the first win. And that was that for 2019. 2020.
2020,
So
terrible.
let's look at Dreamcatcher now. Based
For
on
the
sheer
world.
numbers alone, Dreamcatcher is a decently successful group. Their continued sales presence puts them just under Lovely's, AOA, and Idol. Given their commercial
Idol.
sales and consistent comeback rate, I feel comfortable saying that they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
I hope not.
It could be that this underrated narrative comes from a lack of blockbuster success internationally or top 3 status, and as such causes them to fall into the shadows in the eyes of many international fans. It could also be, and this is my personal hypothesis, that many of the struggles Dreamcatcher has gone through point out a distinct attempt by shadier parts of the industry to stifle the growth of an unconventional group. The industry thrives on convention, unfortunately, and deviations from the norm are often denied, sabotaged, or shut down entirely. And yet, despite all that, Dreamcatcher has survived to today. Dreamcatcher are something of an utter fascination. Ever since they first appeared as Minx, they have been doing some serious parkour to keep in the game, rolling, flipping, and flat out vaulting over Disbandment like they're in the goddamn Olympics. It's pretty damn impressive, I think. So here's to
It's like
you,
they can never win.
Right now, you might be K-pop's Leonardo DiCaprio, but you are by far some of the most unkillable girls in the game. Though I still have questions as to what you did to that one guy. Dreamcatcher have announced a Japanese comeback this upcoming March, and let's hope that both means actual March and more success in Japan. Go get 'em, girls. That's all from me this time. Best of luck to Dreamcatcher, and I'll catch you guys later.
This is before the pandemic really hit the world. I have so much respect for these girls. They've dealt with so much. But what I was getting to is that it's like they can't win, right? They try to do a conventional method, and they just get overshadowed because, I mean, I want to say maybe it was outdated. Their company gave them an outdated, like, girly pop image. But then when they go edgy and do something different, which is great because it evolves and brings in more people, right? I've seen many reaction videos from metal artists or rock artists or people who really love rock, and that's the part that draws them in about Dreamcatcher. Now me, I love that about them, but also the vocal. I mean, I love everything. I'm not to say these people don't either, but part of that being different too is what drew me into them. For the industry to backlash against them, if that's what's happening, that is very sad, because it's not bad for the industry. It's good for the industry because it's bringing in more fans, and it's not like everybody has to go rock, you know. So I love Dreamcatcher. I'm definitely in Insomnia. I'm a new Insomnia, so I don't know all the details yet. Don't know all about the girls, and do not have an official bias yet. I am still leaning towards GU, but there's so many reasons why all the other girls could grab me at any time. I think I'm going to wait until I get another comeback from them, even though I know we just got a comeback. You guys, I'm going to go into some of the special clips that you guys have told me about. Link me down below to some of your favorite special clips that I can get to know the girls more. I might have to watch, what was it, Mix 9, whatever the show was for YG, just to see how they performed in it. I love shows like that. I may start a Patreon where I have some reactions to longer videos like that in it. Let me know what you guys want to see. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you guys next video. Thank you.